Hi friends and everyone who is new to my channel today. I hope you had a great start into the new year. This is my very first beginner class, so I'm really excited to share with you. We're going to do some easier postures. We are going to have some nice guidance. I'm going to align each posture in detail. Still going to be a flow, so it will be nice and smooth, and we're going to open our hips with some hip openers. We are also going to root ourselves, do some grounding postures, some balancing postures, and yeah, maybe even a little bit of heart opening to welcome the new year. So let's get right into it. If you have some blocks and a strap, I recommend you to grab those. It's always nice to have them nearby, just in case that you will need them. I also really recommend to start this class with a block underneath your pelvic floor. So you're a little bit elevated. So you sit down with your sits bones onto the block. It elongates your spine, so you will have a nice long spine here. Your chin will be tucked in slightly, and this will take some weight away from your feet. So if your feet tend to fall asleep, this happens a lot, especially for beginners. When you meditate for longer than 5 to 10 minutes, your feet are going to start tingling, and this is a sign that they're falling asleep. So this will really help with that, especially in the beginning of a class where you are only seated in Sukhasana, easy pose. So for this seat, you just come into any comfortable position. So you can have your feet in front of each other. You can also have one feet on top of the other one, whatever feels good for you. Make sure that you're equally distributed in between your sits bones, and then roll your shoulders back towards the back of your spine. So back and down, your shoulder blades slightly draw together. Your chin, as I said, is slightly tucked, and then you can soften your gaze or close your eyes. This always depends on you. If you don't like to close your eyes for the practice or for parts of the practice, then you can always soften your gaze, which means you are going to take a point somewhere close in front of you, and then you just release your gaze there. Your hands can be on your thighs, either closing down or open up. And then take a few deep inhales and exhales here through your nose. Bring your awareness fully onto the air flowing into your body and flowing out of your body. If you want, you can also take your hands above your heart center, so one hand on top of the other. And feel the breath lifting your chest up with every inhale and flattening back down with every exhale. Maybe you want to consciously breathe all the way into your belly, go into the lower part of your abdomen, and really fill up the lower part of your tummy with all the air. Feel your maybe ribs gently lifting up the sides of your body, maybe even the back of your body. And with your exhale, everything flattens back down. You let go of all the air within your body. Take one more breath here. Inhale, make yourself really tall. Again, elongate your spine. And with your exhale, release your hands if you had them above your heart. Gently start to open your eyes if you had them closed. And then you remove your block, or if you had a pillow, from underneath your pelvic floor. Come back seated, fully rooted into the mat underneath you. And with your inhale, start to lift your arms through the sides all the way up towards the ceiling. You can look to the front, or you can also look towards your fingertips. Keep your hands closed so the energy, the prana, stays within your body. Your shoulders are rotated downward. And then with your next exhale, bring your right hand onto the right side of your mat. Your left arm comes above you. Make sure that both sits bones are on the mat, so you're not lifting up one hip here. And if you want, you can walk your fingertips a little bit further towards the side, maybe come onto your forearm. And really keep reaching. Stretch the left side of your body here. You can look into your elbow mold, or you look towards the front, or you can also even look towards your right hand. With your inhale, come back up, reach both arms up. And with your exhale, bring your left hand onto the side. Your right arm comes above your head. Slight bend towards the side here. Maybe you walk your left fingers again a little bit further to the side and come all the way onto your forearm. But only do this as if you can. Keep your hips on the mat underneath you. Maybe look towards your right elbow mold, or you look down to your hand or to the side and keep both shoulders still away from your ears. Really feel the stretch in the side of your body. And then with your inhale, come back up, reach both arms up. Make yourself really long. And then with your exhale, interlace your fingers and bring your hands behind your back. Your elbows are sticking towards the side. Maybe lift your chest up gently. Keep your rib cage tucked in here. And then with your exhale, round your back and bring your elbows together. Look towards your navel. With your inhale, come all the way back up, straight spine, elbows stick out. Maybe lift your chest slightly, look up. And with your exhale, round your back again. Inhale, come back up. And with your exhale, round your back again. Inhale, come back up. And with your exhale, release your hands to your sides. We are coming into our first tabletop position. So your hands come underneath your shoulders, fingers widely spread. Your fingertips are gently pressing into the mat underneath you, and you have the whole weight in between your index finger and your thumb, so you're not falling outward with your hands. Your knees are underneath your hips, hip distance apart. The back of your feet are pressing gently into the mat, or you can also tuck your toes under. Make sure that you are not falling with your pelvic upward. So you have a straight spine here. Maybe your shoulder blades are gently drawing outward. And then you look in between your thumbs. So you have a long elongated spine, your neck is long. And with your next inhale, drop your navel down, lift your chest up and look towards the front into cow. And with your exhale, round your back, tilt your pelvis inward, look towards your navel. Inhale, lower your navel down, lift your chest up, look up. And exhale, round your back. Look towards your navel. Your head always comes last. Inhale, look up. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, look up. Keep pressing with your fingertips into the mat. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, come back to center. Make sure your spine is long and elongated again. Fingertips are pressing into the mat, fingers widely spread, and if you haven't tucked your toes under, then do it now. And then start to lift your hips up, lift your knees up, come into your first downward facing dog. You can walk your dog by bending one knee at a time. And then make sure that your feet are hip distance apart. And come into a stillness. If this is really challenging for you, you can bend your knees, keep your rib cage tucked in, keep your shoulders away from your ears. You can look towards your knees if you want. And if this gets easier, try to bring your heels down a little further and maybe extend your legs all the way. But wherever you are, it's perfectly fine. Keep breathing deeply into your belly. Really try to have equal amount of weight in between your feet and your hands. You're really lifting up through your pelvic floor. And then with your inhale, look towards your hands and start to walk towards the front of the mat. Come into a forward fold. You can have a slight bend in your knees so that your torso is touching your thighs. Take your opposing elbows with your hand and then maybe shake your head from side to side, maybe not. Release your neck here. And then also release your lower back by ragdolling from side to side. And find big stillness. Release your hands. Maybe extend your legs a little further if available. One more deep breath here all the way into the belly. And with your next inhale, step your left foot all the way towards the back of the mat into a high lunge. Reach your arms up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. So your hands, when I say this, bring your hands into prayer pose in front of your heart. Keep your core engaged. Keep your rib cage tucked in. Your shoulders are rolled back. You look straight to the front. Maybe your chin is slightly tucked in here as well. Your knee is right above your ankle. You have really strong legs here. With your inhale, reach your arms back up. Always keep your shoulders rolled down and back. And your rib cage still tucked in, so you're not opening up your ribs here. And then with your exhale, open up towards the left. Your back foot comes into a 90-degree angle, so parallel to the short side of the mat. Your front knee stays above your ankle. Your arms are straight to the sides. You look over your front fingertips, so towards the front. You can also bring your shoulders up and then roll them back down to really feel how it feels like when they're in the correct alignment. Also here, keep your pelvis tucked in so you're not falling outward. And also your hip bones are as far as it's available, opened up, pointing towards the side, but always make sure that you can still see your big toe, so your knee is above your ankle. Breathe here. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. And then with your inhale, shift towards the front with your upper body. And with your exhale, bend your elbow and bring your forearm onto your upper thigh, right above your knee. Your left arm comes above you into an extended side angle pose here. Keep a strong core, really feel the stretch in the side of your body. Your shoulder is away from your ear. You can also look towards your fingertips if you want. Now with your inhale, come all the way back up, straight arms, warrior 2. And then step towards the front of the mat. You can take one step here, hands to heart center, and then start to lift your knee towards your chest. Bring both interlaced hands around your shin. And slightly tuck your knee towards your chest. Standing wind release here. And then let go of your right hand. Place it onto your right hip. Your left hand is underneath your knee on your shin. And with your inhale, open up your hip. And with your exhale, close it back down. Really try to keep the balance here. I know it's a little bit challenging. Inhale up. Exhale back down. Inhale out. Exhale back down. Inhale, stay here. Maybe bring your knee a little bit closer towards your chest. And then exhale, release your toes onto the mat underneath you. Your heel comes onto your ankle. Ooh. You can place your hands both onto your heart center here. And if this is really easy, you can also take your foot onto your shin. If you want to go a little bit further, then you can also come all the way onto your upper thigh here. Try to only come above or underneath your knee and not onto your knee. Tree pose, Vrksasana. Keep your shoulders rolled back, your ribs tucked in. Really elongate your spine here. Inhale here. And with your exhale, release your foot onto the mat underneath you. Come mat width apart, heels slightly inward, and slowly release yourself onto the mat into Malasana Yogi Squat. You can take your hands in front of you and slightly guide your knees outward, or you take your hands to heart center, still guiding your knees outward, elongating your spine, chin slightly tucked in. You can also always use a plug underneath your pelvic floor. You grab your plug and place it right underneath on whichever height that is available for you. You can also place a blanket underneath your heels or your plugs underneath your heels if you need a little bit of elevation here. Inhale here. Now with your exhale, lower yourself all the way onto the mat underneath you and roll onto your back, knees towards your chest. And place your feet onto the mat right behind your buttocks. Take them a little bit wider than hip distance so that your hands can easily touch your heels. Keep your whole back on the mat so your lower back is pressing into the mat. You engage your core here. Take your arms straight to your sides, palms facing downward. And then have the back of your eyes, so where your eyes meet the back of your head, where they meet the mat. There you slightly press inward to elongate your spine here. And then we will come into bridge pose, Sedubandha Savangasana, by inhaling our hips up. Make sure that your inner thighs are engaged. You're slightly pressing your thighs together. Press your glutes up. Engage your core. And then look up towards the ceiling. Make sure you have a space in between your chest and your chin, so you're not tucking your chin inward. Breathe here, slow and steady. And with your next exhale, slowly vertebra by vertebra, lower yourself all the way back down onto the mat underneath. Bring your knees back towards your chest and then take one roll to come up into seated. Sit a little bit further back to extend your legs towards the front. Dandasana, hands to your sides, elongate your spine, rib cage tucked in, roll your shoulders back. Look to the front so you slightly tuck your chin in. Press the heels into the mat underneath you and flex your feet. Keep breathing here. And then bend your knees back towards your chest. Take one roll, or as many as you need to come all the way into a forward fold Uttanasana. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, step back into high plank. In high plank, again, make sure that your fingers are widely spread, fingertips pressing into the mat. Your shoulder blades are broadened, you have an elongated spine, and then press yourself all the way up into your downward facing dog. Lift your hips up, keep your rib cage tucked in, shoulders away from your ears, look towards your knees. And then gently start to walk towards the front of the mat again into Uttanasana, forward fold. You can have a slight bend in your knees again. And then with your next inhale, step your right leg towards the back of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up above your head, shoulders rolled down, your ankle and your knee are in one line. Exhale, hands to heart center. Make sure your legs are both strong. Maybe you engage your glutes here. Roll your shoulders back one more time. Keep your core engaged. Look to the front and smile. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, rotate towards the right. Open up your arms. Bring your back foot parallel to the short side of the mat. Stay bent in your front knee. You can see your big toe. Your knee is above your ankle. Roll your shoulders back one time. Look towards the front. Open up your hips as far as possible. With your next inhale, reach towards the front, bend your left elbow, place your left forearm onto your upper thigh. Your right arm comes above your head into an extended side angle. Feel the stretch in the right side of your body. Look to the side or towards your elbow mold. Keep your shoulder down and away from your ear. Inhale, come back into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. And then step all the way towards the front. Take your hands into your heart center. Lift your right knee up towards your chest and interlace your hands around your shin. Keep on bringing your knee towards your chest. And then release your left hand onto your left hip. Your right hand stays on your shin. And with your inhale, open up your hip on this side. Exhale, close back down. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close back down. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close back down. Take both arms again around your shin. Bring your knee closer towards your chest. Inhale here. And with your exhale, release your toes onto the mat, your heel onto your ankle. Both hands again onto your heart center. If this is really comfortable, lift your right foot onto your shin, or maybe all the way up onto your upper thigh, sparing your knee here. Breathe. Elongate your spine really strong and long. Take one more deep breath here. Inhale, make yourself long. And with your exhale, release your right foot onto the mat. Come again, mat width apart with your feet, heels slightly inward, and slowly lower all the way down into Malasana Yogi Squat, hands either in front of you or in your heart center. Guide your knees outward. Make sure that your knees are behind your ankles so they're not falling inward here. A really elongated spine. Again, if you need to use your block, please do so. This is better always to have a good alignment than doing the pose and doing it wrong, because that can hurt you more than benefit. Inhale here. And with your exhale, lower your hips back down and roll all the way onto the back. Take your feet slightly wider than hip distance apart so that you can touch your heels with your hands. Your core is engaged, ribcage tucked in. Press the back of your eyes into the mat underneath, and then start to lift your hips up with your inhale. And breathe here for 3. Have a space between your chest and your chin. 2. 1. Inhale a little higher. And exhale slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Lower yourself back down. Bring your knees towards your chest. And then take a roll up into seated. And open up your legs into a wide-legged stance here this time. Take your hands right behind you if you want. Open up your chest. Elongate your spine. Make sure your heels are pressing into the mat, your feet are flexed. And then with your inhale, reach your arms up. And with your exhale, bend towards the right, so your right hand comes onto the inside of your right foot. Your left arm comes above you, reaching towards the side. You can again look to the side or to your elbow mold, or you look towards your right hand. Breathe here, keep smiling. It's a happy new year. And with your inhale, come all the way up, reach your arms up. Exhale, left hand onto inside of your left ankle. Right arm comes above you. Look to your elbow mold to the side or onto your left hand. And keep your fingers tucked in so you keep the energy inside of your body. Feel the stretch in the side of your body, and also here, keep both sits bones on the mat at all times. So if you feel that your hip is lifting up, Come a little bit out of the posture, out of the stretch. Inhale, come back up, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold towards the front. And whenever it's enough, so you are having a straight spine, you can't go further, then just release your hands onto the floor underneath you, or onto the mat in front of you. Also start to walk your fingers a little bit towards the front. Keep your neck elongated, so look somewhere on the floor right in front of you. Now with your next inhale, walk your hands back towards your thighs, bend your knees, place your hands underneath your knees, and then bring your knees back together and roll all the way onto the mat underneath you. You can either place your hands again right underneath your knees or towards the front, and then start rolling down vertebra by vertebra. Really try to use your core muscles here to roll yourself down. And whenever you reach the mat, place the back of the head on the mat and bring your knees towards your chest again. Maybe you want to rock from side to side a little bit, massaging your lower back. And then find back stillness. Interlace your hands around your right shin and extend your left leg all the way towards the front. If this is not available, you can also bend your knee and place your foot onto the mat. And then keep bringing your knee towards your chest. Maybe slightly open up your hip and bring your knee towards your armpit. Now with your inhale, bring your knee back to the center and guide your knee all the way towards the left side. Maybe with your left hand placed onto the outside of your knee. Reach your right arm towards the side and come into a twist. Keep both shoulder blades on the mat. If your foot is hanging somewhere in the air, you can also always place a block underneath your foot. And then keep breathing deeply into your belly, looking up or towards your right fingertips. With your next inhale, come back to center. Bring both knees towards your chest. And then interlace your hands around your left shin. Extend your right leg towards the front and down onto the mat. Or bend your knee, place your foot onto the mat. And then keep bringing your knee towards your chest. Or maybe open up your hip and bring your knee towards your armpit. Breathing fully into the belly. And bring the corners of your mouth upward. With your inhale, come back to center. Place your right hand onto the outside of your left knee and guide your knee all the way towards the right. Extend your left arm to the side. Look up or towards your left fingertips. Keep both shoulder blades on the mat underneath you. Feel the twist in your solar plexus, so don't push too hard on your left knee. And also always close your eyes down if you want. And consciously breathe in and out of your nose. Inhale, come back to center. Bring both knees towards your chest. And then open up both knees to the sides. flex your feet and then bring your feet towards the ceiling with open hips. Maybe grab your ankles or your shin here. Try to grab from the inside of your knees. This is really easy. Grab the outside of your feet or the inside of your feet. And then keep your pelvis on the floor. You're not opening up your throat, so you have a slight tuck in your chin. And keep breathing here. If you want, you can also swing from side to side a little bit. Not be really conscious. Do it only very gently. Find back stillness. Now with your inhale, release your feet, bring your knees back together. Give yourself a really big hug. Bring your knees towards your face. Maybe lift your head off the mat. Give your knees a kiss, some love. And then squeeze yourself small, small, small with your inhale. Hold your breath. Release down all the way onto the mat into Shavasana, corpse pose. So your legs are a little bit wider than hip distance. Your feet fall outward. Your arms are to your sides, maybe a little bit wider, so your armpits get a little bit of air. Palms facing the ceiling. Release your shoulder blades. Keep your neck elongated by slightly tucking your chin inward. And then use your breath to release yourself, to relax any tension within your body, within your muscles. Maybe sigh it out through the mouth. 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. And sigh it out. 1 more. Let yourself get really soft. Soften all your limbs into the mat. Your legs, your hips, your back, your arms, your head. Release all the tension within the muscles within your face. Lift your eyebrows and release. Shift your jaw from side to side and release. Purse your lips. Release. And maybe you want to set an intention for today or for the week. Can be anything. Maybe it's a New Year's resolution that you want to take a hold of. Maybe it's that you want to follow a regular practice, maybe starting with some meditations in the mornings, or some breath work in the evening. Whatever it is, repeat it to yourself out loud so you can really hear your voice, you yourself saying it out loud. And when you have repeated it for 3 times, repeat it 1 more time and really feel into this intention. Make it count. Take one more deep breath here, all the way into your belly. And then start to slowly move your fingers and your toes again. Start to rotate your feet and your hands. And then reach your arms above your head, make yourself long. Bend your knees towards your chest. Make yourself small again and roll onto one side, whichever side you prefer. Maybe you take your arm, upper arm underneath your head to support. And find your way back into your physical body, into your surroundings, into the room that you're in. And when you feel ready, use your inhale to gently press yourself up with your upper arm. And then come into a comfortable seated position again. Roll your shoulders back. Take your hands to your heart center and slightly tuck your chin towards your fingertips. I invite you to thank yourself for the practice today. Thank your body for moving. Thank your mind for focusing. And I also want to thank you for letting me guide you. Namaste. Thank you very much that you chose to practice with me today. I hope you enjoyed the little hip opening flow, and I hope to see you soon. I have a lot of intermediate and advanced classes on my channel, but I also have some beginner friendly ones. They're a little bit faster, so you might have to catch up to them a little bit if you're a total beginner. But you can always come back to this flow. It's a really nice balancing and hip opening class for any time to release some tension, to release some emotions that are really stored in our hips. So yeah, if you liked it, if you have some feedback for me, let me know in my comments, let me know via any way you prefer. And yeah, see you soon.